Listen closely. This isn't for the faint-hearted. This isn't for those who fold when the world pushes them to the edge. This is for the fighters, the ones who refuse to be puppets in someone else's story, the ones who strike back, not just with fists, but with the kind of force that shatters illusions and crushes false images built on lies and deceit. When you hit back, you don't just make noise. You demolish. You expose. You make the ground tremble beneath the false empires they built on your pain. If you're here, it means you've been underestimated. You've been pushed down, ignored, laughed at. But guess what? The moment you decided to strike back, that's the moment their carefully constructed image fell apart like fragile glass under the weight of your truth. They thought you'd stay silent. They thought you'd play their game by their rules. They thought you'd crumble. But you didn't. And now, you're standing in the wreckage of their facade, stronger than ever. If this fire inside you is burning right now, if the words hitting you like a punch in the gut are lighting a spark that refuses to die, then don't just listen. Subscribe to this fight, like this truth, because it's not just a speech. It's a call to the warriors hidden inside every soul who's been trampled. Smash that like button, because every click is a sign that you're ready to reclaim your power. Hit subscribe, so you never forget that no matter how dark it gets, your strike will always be louder than their lies. You see, this isn't about revenge. It's about resurrection. It's about taking the pieces of your shattered self and building a weapon so precise and sharp that their entire image crumbles the moment you unleash it. How do you do it every single time? How do you destroy their image so completely that they don't know what hit them? It starts with one thing: truth. The brutal, naked truth they tried to bury under their layers of deception. You've seen behind the curtain. You've watched them craft their stories, their lies, their false realities. And you waited. You watched quietly, building strength in silence until the right moment. Then you struck. Not with anger, not with mindless fury, but with calculated precision. You exposed their lies, one truth at a time, unraveling the myth they spent years building. Every word you spoke was a hammer blow to their image. Every action, a demolition charge wired to their foundations. And when their image fell apart, did you feel pity? No, because pity is for the weak. You felt the surge of power that comes from breaking free, from watching the illusions burn, and from knowing you are no longer bound by their chains. But understand this: striking back is not a one-time act. It's a relentless pursuit. It's the willingness to face the darkness inside yourself, to confront the demons they planted in your mind, and to use that pain as fuel. It's about becoming the storm that sweeps through their lies, leaving nothing but truth and raw reality in your wake. Every time you destroy their image, you rewrite the narrative. You take the pen away from those who tried to write you out. You are no longer the victim. You are the force that reshapes the story itself. And yes, it's painful. Yes, it's exhausting. But it's necessary. Because every false image they create is an attempt to keep you small, to keep you quiet, to keep you controlled. And every strike you deliver is a step closer to freedom. So, how do you do it? How do you strike back so hard that their entire world falls apart every time? You start by knowing yourself better than they know you. You start by recognizing the lies they tell, to themselves and to the world. You start by owning your scars, your failures, your truths, no matter how dark they are. And then you use those truths as weapons. Remember, their image is only as strong as the ignorance that holds it up. When you shine your light on it, when you refuse to play their game, and instead reveal the raw underbelly of their deceit, their empire crumbles. You don't need to shout. You don't need to fight dirty. You just need to be real, relentless, and unapologetically true. You've been told to be quiet, to stay in your lane, to let the world's version of you define who you are. But the moment you struck back, everything they built on your silence collapsed. Because silence is a weapon, yes, but a weapon you wield on your own terms when the time is right. When you choose to break the chains, to shatter the mirror they made to trap you, you become the nightmare of their perfect image. Every strike you deliver is a reminder. They don't control your story anymore. They don't get to hide behind lies or false perceptions. You are the storm they forgot to prepare for, and storms don't ask for permission. They arrive, and everything is left changed in their wake. If you're feeling that fire, that rage turned into unbreakable resolve, smash that like button right now. It's not just a click, it's a declaration. It's proof that you're done playing their game. Hit subscribe so you never miss the chance to fuel this fire, to keep coming back stronger, darker, more relentless. Because this journey, it's not for the faint. It's for those who bleed truth and turn their pain into power. When their whole image falls apart, it's not just about them losing face. It's about you gaining everything they tried to take. Their image was a cage, a lie wrapped in a mask. And with every strike, you rip that mask off and leave them exposed, vulnerable, shattered. They built that image with bricks of manipulation, plastered with lies, painted with false smiles and fake stories. But your strike? It's the hammer that breaks those bricks, the fire that melts the plaster, the darkness that reveals the cracks in the paint. And here's the brutal truth. It will happen again and again, because no lie is permanent, no image unbreakable when you're the force tearing it down. Every time you rise, every time you speak your truth, every time you refuse to be the victim, you dismantle their power piece by piece. But understand this, striking back isn't about becoming what they are. It's about becoming what they fear. It's about being the unyielding truth they cannot control, the reality they cannot rewrite. They want you small because when you're small, you're quiet. When you're quiet, you're easier to break. But you're the earthquake that cracks their foundations, the shadow that swallows their light, the reckoning they never saw coming. And the more they try to rebuild, the more you dismantle. The more they lie, the more you reveal. The more they fake smiles and stories, the more you strip everything down to the raw, unfiltered truth. Because here's the secret, their image isn't real. It never was. It was a house of cards built on fear and lies, waiting for one strike to collapse. And you are that strike. They will try to gaslight you, to twist the narrative, to turn the tables. But you've learned to see through their smoke and mirrors. You've sharpened your eyes, your mind, your soul. You're not just surviving this war, you're winning it with every word, every action, every strike. You strike back because you refuse to be a shadow. You strike back because silence is no longer your weapon. Your voice is. Your truth is. And when you do, the image doesn't just fall apart. It becomes a warning to everyone who dares to try and control you. A warning that no facade can hold against your storm. No lie can survive your light. So the next time you feel the weight of their world pressing down, the next time they try to silence you, remember this. You have the power to strike back. You have the strength to bring their whole image crashing down. And when you do, you don't just survive, you dominate. This is your war. This is your moment. Strike with everything you have and watch as their illusions shatter beneath your feet. There's a twisted beauty in the way you dismantle their image. They build their kingdoms on your pain, on your fears, on your silence. They shape their world with the pieces of you they think they own. But the moment you strike back, you become the sculptor of your own destiny, carving out your freedom from the ruins of their lies. You take the broken shards of their false reality and make them the weapons that cut through their delusions. And here's the cold truth. Every time you strike back, you leave a mark that tells them they can't control you anymore. A mark that says, you built this image on my silence, but I am the sound that shatters your kingdom. You are the relentless force that no image, no lie, no facade can withstand. It's not just about revenge, it's about reclamation. It's about taking what's yours, your dignity, your power, your truth, and burning away everything that tried to steal it. When their whole image falls apart, it's the sound of your chains breaking. It's the echo of your rise from the ashes they thought would bury you. But understand, striking back is a dangerous game. It's not about anger or hate. It's about calculated fire. It's about knowing when to hold back and when to unleash the storm inside you. It's about precision, hitting exactly where it hurts, exposing exactly what they fear, and standing tall as their lies crumble into dust. Every strike you make is a declaration, a roar into the void that says you refuse to be a pawn, a victim, a shadow. You are the hunter, the force of nature they never saw coming, and their whole image, it's just the beginning of the wreckage you leave behind. If this fire inside you is alive right now, if these words resonate deep in your bones, hit like. Let that be your promise to yourself and to the world, that you will never let them build their lies on your silence again. Subscribe and join the legion of warriors who refuse to be broken, who refuse to be silenced, who strike back and watch the darkness of their illusions burn. They will try to rebuild. They will try to paint new masks. But remember this, every new mask is just another target. Every new lie is just another crack waiting to be shattered by your truth. You are the force that breaks every illusion, the light that exposes every shadow, the storm that tears down every false empire. This is the power you hold. This is the darkness you wield. This is your moment to strike back, harder, smarter, more fiercely than ever before. Because every time you do, their image falls apart and your power grows. You are not just breaking their image, you are breaking the cycle. You are rewriting the rules. You are the storm that no one can predict, the force that no one can stop. So strike back. Strike back with everything you have. Let your truth be the hammer that crushes their lies. Let your courage be the fire that burns their masks. And let your strength be the earthquake that shatters their foundations. Because in the end, the only thing that stands between you and their false image is the choice to strike back. And when you make that choice, their whole world falls apart. You think they fear your fists? No. What they truly fear is your silence breaking. The moment you refuse to stay quiet, the moment your truth claws its way out of the shadows and roars into the light, that's when their whole image starts to crumble. Because their power depends on your submission, your silence, your willingness to play their twisted game. But you are the glitch in their system, the crack in their armor, the spark that sets their whole facade ablaze. Every strike back is a declaration of war against the lies that tried to bury you. It's the act of a soul refusing to be owned, a spirit refusing to be tamed. When you hit back, it's not just a reaction. it's a revolution. And here's the hardest truth of all. The more they try to rebuild, the harder you have to strike. Their image is a hydra. Cut off one head, and 2 more will grow. But you're not afraid of monsters. You become the monster that devours their illusions. Your strike is surgical. It's not random rage. It's the precise dismantling of every false story they spun about you. It's the exposure of their weaknesses, their insecurities, their lies. It's the destruction of the narrative they hoped would bury you forever. And every time you strike, you grow stronger. Every shattered image is a testament to your resilience, your unyielding spirit. Every time their empire falls, your empire rises, built on truth, built on power, built on the unbreakable force of a soul that refuses to be silenced. So when you feel small, when the weight of their world presses down, remember this: you are the storm they forgot to fear. You are the voice they tried to drown. You are the strike that makes their whole image fall apart. And if you're here, feeling that fire rise inside, then hit that like button. Let it be your battle cry. Subscribe so you never forget the power you hold. Because this is not just a fight. It's a movement, a reckoning, a dark, unstoppable force rising from the ashes of every lie they told. Their image fell apart once. It will happen again. And every time, you will be the cause. So strike back. Strike back with everything you have. Because your power is real. Your truth is unstoppable. And their image? It's nothing but dust waiting to be blown away by your storm. They want you to believe that once their image falls, that's the end. That you've won or lost. That the battle is over. But no. The real fight begins in the aftermath, in the silence after the crash. Because when their whole image falls apart, it leaves a void, a darkness that threatens to swallow you if you're not ready. But you are ready. You are the darkness too. You've stared into the abyss and you refuse to blink. You took every scar, every betrayal, every wound they inflicted and forged it into armor. Their image might crumble, but you rise every time, stronger, harder, colder. You've learned that destruction is not just about breaking things down. It's about clearing the path for something new, something real, something fierce. When you strike back and their world falls apart, you don't just leave ruins. You build a monument to your resilience, a fortress made of raw truth and unshakable will. Their whole image fell apart because it was built on lies and fear. Your strike tore through that illusion like a blade through silk. But what you do next, that's what defines you. Do you let the darkness consume you, or do you harness it? Do you let their fall drag you down, or do you rise on their ruins and own the night? This is the crucible of your power. This is the moment that separates the weak from the unstoppable, the broken from the unbreakable. If these words strike a chord deep in your soul, if this fire inside you is screaming to be unleashed, then show it. Hit like. Let it echo through the silence like a battle cry. Subscribe so you never lose sight of the storm you are becoming. Because this isn't just motivation, it's transformation. The truth is, every time you strike back, you reset the game. You remind the world that their image is temporary, but your power is eternal. You're the shadow in their brightest light, the silence in their loudest lies, the strike they never saw coming. So keep striking, keep shattering, keep breaking down every false image until there's nothing left but your truth, raw, fierce, and undeniable. Because in the end, they can only build so many masks. And you hold the hammer. You see, striking back isn't just an action, it's a declaration of existence. It's the moment you refuse to be erased, ignored, or silenced. Their whole image falling apart isn't just about them losing face. It's about you taking back the narrative they tried to steal. It's about standing tall amidst the wreckage and telling the world, I am here, I am real, and I will not be broken. They build their image on your submission, your fear, your doubt. They paint you as weak, as a mistake, as a shadow beneath their spotlight. But you, the eclipse that darkens their light. You are the shadow they can't contain, the truth they can't control. Every time you strike back, you rip the veil from their eyes and reveal the ugliness beneath. You show the world the cracks in their mask, the lies in their stories, the poison in their words. And every time you do, their whole image falls apart because it was never real to begin with. It's brutal, it's raw, it's savage, but it's necessary. You must be willing to walk through fire, to bleed in the dark, to face the ghosts they put inside your mind. Because the strength to strike back comes from embracing that darkness, owning it, and letting it fuel you. The image they built was fragile, and your truth is the hammer that breaks it. They'll try to gaslight you, to turn the tables, to make you question your own reality. But you're sharper than their lies. You see through the smoke and mirrors. You know what's real and what's fabricated, and you strike back harder every time. If you feel that fire burning inside you, that refusal to back down, then hit that like button. Let it be the echo of your power. Subscribe so you never forget the warrior you are becoming. Because this journey is dark, it's brutal, but it's also the only path to freedom. Remember, striking back is a cycle, an endless war against every false image they try to build. But with every strike, you don't just destroy their lies, you build your empire, one forged from truth, resilience, and unyielding strength. So stand up, strike back, watch their whole image fall apart, and know this: you are the reckoning they never saw coming. When you strike back, you don't just break their image, you break the cycle of control they've held over you. Their empire of lies crumbles because it was never built to withstand the force of your truth. You become the chaos in their order, the storm in their calm, the shadow that swallows their light. And in that destruction, you find your freedom. You reclaim every piece of yourself they tried to steal, and you rise, not as their victim, but as their reckoning. This fight is far from over. Every time their image falls, they'll try to rebuild it stronger, more deceptive. But so will you, because striking back isn't a moment, it's a movement, a relentless fire burning inside, refusing to be extinguished. It's the power to dismantle every false story and rewrite your own narrative with fierce, unshakable truth. Their image falling apart, it's the soundtrack to your rise, your evolution, your ultimate victory. So carry this with you. The strength to strike back is the strength to be unapologetically real, to embrace the darkness and use it as fuel, to shatter every mask they place on you until there's nothing left but the raw, undeniable force of who you truly are. Their image falls every time you refuse to be broken. Their empire crumbles every time you choose to rise. And you are the storm that no one can stop. In the end, the destruction of their image is just the beginning of your true awakening. It's the moment you step out of the shadows they cast and into the light of your own power, fierce, untamed, and unbreakable. Every shattered illusion is proof that you hold the key to your own destiny, that no force on earth can cage the spirit that strikes back with purpose and fire. So own your darkness, wield your truth like a weapon, and keep tearing down every false empire that stands in your way, because this is your world to conquer, and their image will fall apart every time you decide to rise.